It's not.
Small chop. That one is chicken god chop. Are you serious? Look at browser first. Look at see what I think about.
This man, the last time you say the trick don't reach you. I don't want to hear that kind of play today. Because today here now, you don't read your table. You don't talk. Later now when they don't check you, you say, I don't see anything. That will not be excuse. People they collect something. You day here, after one day. You're not bring down. Okay. Give me a hold.
I'm coming, don't worry, I'm coming. Next time, you collect it too. Then conjure it. Okay.
I did my house once and the other room outside. This year people want to do a shake of my 20. Olumba. Rice and beans. Other ingredients. Now, quarter about. The rice wey dem carry come. I no fit get that kind of market. The type of the quality of that rice, I know some for that time. They know they sell am. See the kind better rice wey dem carry come. Everybody say, na Olumba o, you want this.
You join Olumba?
Then they pay me.
You go join Olumba?
They share something now. They share food. And they do food, so they come they share something. People now they dodge and they don't want to collect.
I beg you, no collect you. Olumba.
There's snacks, so
I tell my landlord, she can make them go collect their own. You know, I eat that thing for nothing less than 3 months.
What did they give you?
Rice and beans now. Raw, comes out of that.
Olumba.
I say if you see the rice, if you see that rice, na foreign rice. If you see the rice, the beans.
They get money.
I know see that very quality. I know see am for market.
If you want
Those are when you see the big rice, very clean. They come say Olumba something. I know the people collect am on Olumba. They share food.
they will give you cheese and lizard.
no, what you go do you?
Nothing will do you.
What you want to do for?
Maybe they give you.
Nothing go do you at all.
Happy.
Anyone wey dey to the person don't mean say price go later. If you no dey, you give am more.
Give am more. Make you recognize am. I think you go recognize say you give am something. The person wey dey reject, wey you talk say you go reject am.
Anything you have person na love.
Please just give am. Make you just say.
Not that play now, small play now, now, 1,500. That's my must. Who has must for them? After that, try get money or make you celebrate birthday.
Do that. I bet you na 10th December.
December.
Yeah.
You don't say na 31st their own.
31st.
So that nobody will follow and celebrate. So walo person. Business
Wetin happen? She dey entertain her people. Finally, we don dey dance. But dance is not energetic. Put more effort. Put more effort. Yes. Girls don't think like this. They enjoy when the person when they feel there like when they feel there like this. I would say they think as in the video like them they enjoy them. Just look at me. Look at me, I am beautiful. I am beautiful.
I feel I've wanted to tell you something. If kids let them so surprised use people creating sort of a people
Who is that?
instead of that we are beautiful.
Who is that?
This
Who is that?
our life is going keep getting you need to show them that
Because today is the year for that. Nice seeing you too, baby.
and then use Pokelia and
But I'm going to be the drink water.
March 2026.
But they drink more. You must drink them more, not to say they drink more. Not but now more, they drink more. Drink and drink because now more. Drink now. Tell me why you go to your faith that they talk about. Drink more. Okay, collect the more to that. No, they don't. Buy more from that one. Before buy that one, hey, you don't want to different. Hey, like you have more. What do you drink? Don't be my man. Go buy more. I know but because you now more, don't drink that. What does it like what? I
love you. Hey!
Because you know, it's in the bit
No, we say I decrease, that God I decrease. Did you say I decrease, God I decrease? Hey, baby, say decrease, that God I decrease.
No, I think I'm personal. I know. I think I'm personal.
Oh, good
My love.
morning.
What is that boss?
Oh,
Just we look good together.
really? Make your wife no catch.
My wife. I'm going to catch her. She go catch me. Then they catch Honda.
Hi guys, good morning. Have you guys around? I can never be because of me.
Ironically.
I'm not. Still not.
What's the issue?
Nothing changed.
Somebody do something.
There's more everywhere. Yeah, you should announce it now. I want to participate. No, yeah,
The outfit is very fine.
my outfit is fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We go to the length of the universe to bring you the top stories of the day. From the breaking news to the big stories from Nigeria, Africa, and the world. Unique perspective.
My Lord, you are good.
Politics, policy, people, and events. Leader and because innovate, technology, culture, and the arts. Well, it's everything else in between. It's the next podcast that we ask the hard questions and get the answers. Speak to the experts and give the deep insights on the issues that shape our world. Every news night on the right.
Make sure you find someone else.
Standard News Channel.
You've been touching my rubber. If you want to buy snacks, I didn't mean to. I'm good, yourself. Thank you, baby. Oh, Brian.
Hello, welcome
I'm
to
from
Rise
Nigeria.
News. You're watching the Global Business Report.
Yeah.
We're going to do here. We're in
Happy
Lagos,
New Month.
Nigeria's commercial capital.
Good to have you. You're welcome.
All
And
workers
Mr.
around the world.
Joseph,
Let's take a look at
how have you
just
been?
the business world
How's
today.
your
The
day
European
going?
Central Bank, the Bank of
Welcome
England,
to the
sending
world.
hawkish signals despite holding rates steady. And those hawkish signals, of course, are on oil versus fish. Issues
Hey, what's
a
up now?
warning
Any
on the
gist for me?
United States fiscal outlook.
I've been drinking
Of
water
course,
since.
it's going to be front and center as we head toward midterms in November. Apple enjoying its best March quarter ever on the back of strong iPhone sales across every one of its
What are you
regions.
checking?
We'll dig into the numbers. And then Access Holdings PLC, 1 trillion naira in pre-tax profit for the
You want
full
to-
year 2025. Dig into those numbers,
Okay,
plus others as well.
Carol.
It's a Global Business Report. Just stay tuned.
Yes, isn't that Gary? Yes. She works here. Her name is Sonia. You like her? Good morning, Opeyemi. Báwo ni? Happy New Month. Mwakwa. Yeah, in Nigeria and you're Yoruba, right?
Together
With
with
the Ghana.
oil prices that remain elevated. Brent had much about 120.
Add
Takes
what?
came down
What do you
to
want to
about
add?
111. It's been oscillating, but we're still above triple digits. And prices.
My name is
prices
Asake.
are still high.
God bless you.
Ololade
Asake. Emmanuel, good morning. Happy New Month. Guys, subscribe. Yeah.
PMS prices in the state. Now, what does that mean for oil and gas?
You're Nigerian, right? Opeyemi. Which state?
BP and some others.
Are you in Nigeria or your house?
Dual listed Seplat had revenues up of 4% to $840 million. Average realized oil price to $86 a barrel for that particular quarter, for first quarter of this year. Volumes lifted, that did fall about
I'm just so
12%.
excited to see
We
this
see gross
first
profit
day.
there up, but their profit before tax did fall about 20%.
Oh,
But profit
are
after
you-
tax
are you from
was
Kenya?
up.
Or
Now, Seplat
you're
did
Nigerian?
refer to their
Ice Kenya.
the
How you doing?
oil price environment. Say the oil price
Manuel,
environment
is this your first
was
time?
favorable
Please
in the first
subscribe,
quarter 2026 as tensions
share,
in the Middle East led to a
and
surge in
comment.
prices, while Brent crude averaged $77.60 a barrel, 4% higher than the first quarter of last year.
Yeah,
The oil
baby.
price realization saw
Santi
greater
Sweet, good
uplift due to the
morning.
timing and weighting
month.
of their liftings, 38%
Yeah,
of
my
those
day is going
crude and
great.
condensate liftings occurred
Beautiful.
in March. So that supported that. And look at this.
So,
as such, we report a
I was
premium
gifted
of
this
$8.55
as
a
someone
barrel
celebrated
compared to
birthday today.
$1.55 in the same period
Good
last
to have you,
year.
man.
And an average realized
Good to
price
have you.
of 86
So
16
welcome.
a barrel. Let's talk to our guest, Bimi Adelokiki. I got that right. Adelokiki, thank you. Good morning. And really, thank you so much for joining us on a holiday. I wanted to, of course, your coronation research. I wanted to get your reaction to Seplat's statement on how much they were able to get from the oil prices.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So
Happy Workers' Day.
thank you, same to you. It's important to note that they already had a strategy. They were exposed to 100% oil price increase. So wherever the direction was going, it was going to be in their favor. In spite of the fact that it was oscillating, as you put it earlier, we saw that it averaged about $76 per barrel, but they were still able to realize about 86 per barrel, which is significantly higher. So it was expected based on what was going on through the quarter, particularly from the end of February into March. But the other side that is now very important is what went on with quantity, which I think we will talk about later. So two things contribute to revenue. That's the quantity and the price. The price was higher than expected. What about the quantity? We saw a bit of moderation along that side, particularly with the offshore. That was because there was with the onshore, it was down about 12%. So what's the cause was there was they had a downtime which cost them 38 days. That's significant to the contribution to a quarter. So because of that downtime, though we also on the other side offshore was higher, 5%. There was also a recovery of
I'm trying to reach out to my
from March
sister.
24th, the Transpipe. So
my sister just
all
called
of
me
those
early in the
things,
morning. I was like,
if it was just based on what happened with the
you
30 days downtime, it would have been a much higher. Do you understand? So, but anyway, they were able to moderate things based on other sites, the offshore and other contributions.
It gives you a really good insight as to operations in Nigeria, oil and gas operations, onshore, offshore, and the challenges that some of these companies face, the force majeures and the maintenance costs and things like that.
I haven't done that.
It doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
I'm not working, but I'm looking for a remote job presently. I don't know.
At least as oil revenues anyway, what they realize from
I'm
those
not
prices
working.
continue to be elevated.
Okay, well, as I said earlier, it's not only based on price, it's also based on volume.
That's right.
Earlier, as we already explained, it was a moderation in
So
volume.
guys, I need
There's
a
going
good
to be a
job,
recovery,
a
as
good
stated in the
remote
financial
job.
statement.
Yeah.
There's already there should be a recovery in Yoho in Q3. The operating cost was significantly higher because of the Yoho maintenance. So where that is able to resume,
No, I don't.
operations with you,
I don't
things are
have.
expected to moderate, especially the operating cost. The operating cost was estimated to be about $13.5 to $14.5 per barrel. But what we saw was about 17 because of the maintenance going on at the moment. And this is compared to about 12 last year. So you see the significantly increased. So regardless of what the price is, if all of those things are not already concluded, we will not see so much effect with the revenue.
Thank you for that. Good breakdown. It really does give you an idea of oil and gas operations in Nigeria and how infrastructure and all these other things come into play for companies. So moving from oil and gas, go to telcos. Funny enough, we should have the head of Alton coming on the show this afternoon to talk about quality of service. But MTN Q1, I mean, this is what was the revenue? 1.5 trillion, 41% growth. We still have separates on the screen for some reason, but we'll get to MTN in a moment. What did you make of how they performed?
I think the performance was expected. I think that compared to what went on previous quarters, though there was a slight moderation, as expected, we still saw increased penetration, more active users, more data, man. It's telecommunications. Everybody will have to adopt, right? People that are not using phones yet will eventually have to get phones. People that do not have access to internet will eventually have to. So, I mean, we can only see growth when it comes to telecommunications. We only expect growth. So we had more subscribers from the report. We had more data subscribers, more users of the airline, and so we expected that there will be increase.
I guess. Well, what's your outlook for the firm's earnings? And as we look forward, going through the rest of the year, do you still see, I guess with telcos, MTN, excuse me, I guess even with the other players, data revenue still climbing and so on?
The earnings per share for Q1 was about 16.5.
That's correct. 16.95.
16.95. That compared to about 6.
160-something%.
If they continue in this pattern, we expect about 60 something at the end of this, like 30% higher than what they did last year. We don't expect that it is impossible. Maybe not completely that figure, but at least close to. We don't expect any impossibility.
Final question for let you go. I mean, what do you make of the fact that people complain about quality of service, dropped calls, and so on?
What do you mean?
Across the board for all the telcos, but the numbers still keep going up. They still, they did the tariff thing, it was 50%, and they're still facing the operating costs. But people still consume data to the level of where their data numbers keep climbing. What is, I don't know, what's your interpretation of what does that say? I still find myself not changing my data consumption despite the price. As well as all my colleagues around here, like in that green room and outside in the newsroom, everybody's just tapping.
There was a downtime about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Because you put your face here.
Imagine all of us like that for 24 hours.
We go crazy.
Exactly.
Why not even able to do this show?
Exactly. So regardless of the complaints, people are still going to buy airtime, people are still going to buy data, people are still going to invest. And we will also see the countries in this sector continue to invest in their technology. We saw about capex of 98%. So we expect that they will also keep improving their technology to ensure that things get better. So that's
this MTN people are criminal.
Investor research analyst with Coronation. Always a pleasure having you on, and thank you for coming.
Honestly, they don't.
Talk MTN. Really appreciate your time. You're watching the Global Business Report here on Horizons. More earnings after the break. We're going to be looking at Access Holdings PLC full year 2025 and Dangote Cement's first quarter 2026. After the break, stay tuned. I'll be right back.
No, I don't.
Buying your Airpiece ticket just got easier with Fidelity Bank. When you book on flyairpiece.com, choose Fidelity payment options and complete your payment effortlessly. With Fidelity Bank, you can pay with transfer, fast, secure, and powered by Fidelity. Buy now, pay later, enjoy flexible payments, and travel stress-free. Book on hold. Lock in your travel plans and pay when you're ready. Whichever you choose, every transaction is quick, seamless, and protected. No stress, no hassle. Just smooth payments every time. Because with Fidelity Bank, flying Air Peace isn't just about getting there. It's about getting there with ease. Fly Air Peace. Pay the Fidelity way. Simple, safe, convenient. Visit flyairpeace.com to get started.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. And most importantly, please super chat. This is a new month, and I want you guys to stay positive. I want you guys to speak positive words in this month and declare that this month shall be your best month ever. Because for me, this is my best month ever. So I want you guys to know. I love you too, Manuel. Good to have you. Please subscribe, like, and share. Most importantly, super chat and support the channel. Support this beautiful girl. Share the link with your friends. Invite them to join the live stream. Tell them to subscribe and like. Tell them to comment. For those of you
welcome back to the Global Business Report here on Horizon News. As we said, more earnings. We have Dangote Cement Q1 2026, first 3 months of the year, unaudited financials. 1.1 trillion naira, 20% growth in their revenues. Their cost of production rose at a slower pace than the revenue, so 10% growth. There's still some cost pressures, 448 billion naira. Gross profit is 749, 27% growth there. Operating profit coming in at 506 billion, 27% growth there. Profit before tax 35% up to 421 billion. Profit after tax 53% growth, 321 billion for Dangote Cement. Moving to Access Holdings, this is their full year audited financials. Total assets 51 trillion, 24% growth there. Net interest income coming in at 1.3 trillion. This of course is the story. The impairment charge of 532 billion. I mean that's 100%. 13% growth there, which impacted the net interest income after impairment charge, of course, dropped by almost 20%, 18%. But profit before tax is still coming in at a trillion naira. So it's going to have a conversation about how they're able to absorb those hits and still come up with a PBT of a trillion. Tafik Subair, who is an investment research analyst with Pathway Asset Management. How are you doing, sir? Good to meet you. Happy New Year. I should be saying that in May, or should not be saying this in May. Do have a seat. Thanks for joining us. So, Tafik, it's great to have you. I guess the first question we start with of course, with Access Holdings and the impairments. Just to jump in there, we've been seeing a lot of balance sheet cleanup, if you will. So UBA, we've seeing it here. What do you make of Access as far as their
Okay, so the impairment came in at over 500 billion naira.
That's a lot.
So that is a trend across the industry just to clean up the balance sheet.
Yeah.
So coming from the CBN policy that was passed earlier last year, so all banks are given that mandate to clean up their books. So that's the reason why they had to make such a huge amount of provision to account for the non-performing loan, just to make sure that the balance sheet is solid and de-risk the balance sheet.
Gotcha. No mention of a dividend in the results. I guess we saw what with UBA when they didn't come out with their declared dividends.
Thank you.
We spoke with the group managing director, CEO, Risk also mentioned it as well. They addressed it with Access. I guess does it make sense looking at the balance sheet cleanup and where things are with the hits they took to the financials, or how are you seeing it?
Okay, the way we see it is the provision, they had to retain the earnings just to support the or the cleanup of the balance sheets.
Yeah.
So that's going to increase the capital adequacy ratio in such a way that the risk-weighted assets now is going to be moderated. They are now taking more risk, looking at the increments we saw with the what's it called, the loan books.
Yeah.
So they have to ensure that the balance sheet is solid enough, just so that it doesn't get fragile.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess risk management there, balance sheet review there. As far as because comprehensive income, I saw that fell by about 58% or so, from $1 trillion to 400 and something billion. Despite all that and impairments, I guess the FX losses as well, still manages to come out with $1 trillion.
My name is
exactly. What do you make of the ability to absorb that, everything that they absorb, and still come out with a PBT of $1 trillion?
Looking at the point before tax of over $1 trillion, so there is a part that has not been accounted for, which is the FX exposure. So if you look at the fair value of their FX exposure based on the balance sheet, so if you account for it, looking at the comprehensive income, you see that it fell. So if you now check the core profits now, it is not up to $1 trillion. So that's taking back to the retained earnings that I mentioned earlier. They used just to support the balance sheet, so that they don't allow things to get fragile. So that's the core reason why they don't even intend to. I'm very sure the regulators will also want to ensure that the balance sheet is solid enough and they don't get.
That's of course the Central Bank of Nigeria really taking an eye to that, to making sure all those things are clean up. How do you think it's a public holiday? Should be said, this result was released around 2 a.m. in the morning on a public holiday, so the markets are closed. But I think markets going to investors to respond on Monday. And I should, sorry, before you begin, I should point this out that after UBA released their earnings, UBA first holdco access all failed their stock, right? So
major part of it has been pricing. So if you look at the current price of assets in the market, it's trading under close to 27.
Yeah, that's right.
So that is not too far from what it was doing somewhere around November, when it fell from 26 down to 25.
Yeah.
So most of these have been accounted for. If you look at the Q1 2026 report, you can see a significant growth in the customer deposits, which jumped up by over 50%, meaning they now have a cheap capital that they are going to use to generate more income. So if you look at the cost to income ratio, it fell sharply. So it means with that customer confidence that they have, that increase their their deposit by customers. So it means going forward they can make more money with cheap capital.
So are you optimistic? So I guess looking at it, we still have first holdco to as far as the tier 1 banks are concerned. Just looking ahead, I guess this is just a period of balance to clean up for a lot of these banks. Do you foresee a recovery, going forward for a number of these banks like an Access and the rest after we get past this period of acknowledging these impairments and so on?
So I feel like the impairment is not something that's going to occur in the future, because the one part of the discussion is when impairment in your core. Another part of it is that most of these impairments, it's not as if they will go back to get up all of this stuff. They always go back and by the time they over this money, they are going to write it back, which is going to support the margin going forward. So
Makes sense. Let's quickly jump to Dangote Cement, going from banking now to the industrial sector. What do you make of that? I guess for the first 3 months of the revenues, particularly the drivers for Dangote?
So looking at Dangote Cement and the industrial sector generally, what is driving the upline is the volume. So we can see from their core business that most of this money is coming from government spending, government infrastructure. There's a lot of road that's being constructed, and now what they use majorly in construction now is concrete. Right. So a lot of cement is needed. So that is what is driving the revenue line.
Fantastic. Now going cost of production though, I mean, it should be said, revenues grew at 20% clip, cost of production up 10%, but 448 billion, still a sizable amount of money for cost of production. What do you look at the drivers in?
So if you try to take the cost of production as a fraction of the revenue, you see that it's less than 50%, right? Just roughly around 42%, which is okay. Meaning they have a gross profit margin of 58%. And if you take it down to the bottom line, it's double digit, over 20%. That's significant. And that is trailing the same what's it called, magnitude that they reported in 2024. So the base year, they still try to match and surpass the base year, coming from a very strong base year, to be precise.
Okay, but I guess in terms of what makes up their costs, are we looking at what energy, haulage, and things like that?
Yes, majorly energy, right? So if you look at the production parts, majority of energy.
You remember me how?
So what's down there
where?
And most players in the industry, they try to diversify their energy mix. So if you go to the haulage part, we have seen different initiatives from diesel now to CNG. So that's what they are using to manage the costs, just so that they can save enough of money in order not to potentially increase the price that is going to affect the volume.
Excellent. Now, of course, you talked about the gross profit margin translating to the PBT, the bottom line, but 35% growth there for profit before tax, and then profit after tax back at 3%. Well, what was your assessment of how the bottom line for the company?
So looking at the bottom line, is so solid, and it looks sustainable with a kind of caution.
Okay.
Because if you look at the environment now, we understand that the business is energy driven,
right?
And we have been seeing the interplay with oil and fuel prices. So it means if for a sector like this, if the war continues for so long, it can have effects on the bottom line. But looking at what the company has done, like they already have a good strategy. They are increasing their production, they are increasing their footprints beyond Nigeria.
In Africa, right? Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia.
Collectively, it's about 11 countries.
Right. But it's interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that. I think Nigeria revenue still was about 800 billion after that 1 trillion, and then rest of it.
Respected, because if you look at the production capacity, is majorly concentrated in Nigeria. So other regions, they are just trying to diversify, just so that they try to create a kind of comfortable zone for them in case there's
any issues. I think the rest of Africa, the rest of their footprint, I think their revenues was up about 14% year on year.
Volume was up
as well. The volume came behind that too, right? Tafik, we gotta have you back on the show. Thank you so much for the very insightful analysis here on Access Holdings and Dangote Cement. Tafik, Investor Research Analyst, Pathway Asset Management Limited. And thank you for coming on a public holiday. Happy Workers' Day. Thank you for appreciate your time. All right, watching the Global Business Report here on Arise News. We'll have more after the break. We'll have a discussion on the quality of service for telcos in Nigeria. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I grew up in Imesile, who started business as LPA in 1988. 7 years later, we started exporting cocoa to Europe, UK, and US. This is what we have been doing up to now. In business, you see, there's always up and down in any business. The only thing
glory of the
is
universe.
perseverance.
My love,
What should be able to stand and
my
what
joy,
you want.
my love.
Focus.
I call you my love twice. My sweet and my sugar. I call you sugar twice. How are you? Sorry.
High price with the hope of selling, but when the dollar was deregulated, there was shortfall. We have some challenges, because of loans, working, exporting, and then we came back into the business full. You'll be about
I don't really understand what I'm saying.
when you're talking of banks, you're not talking of the structures, not the building, but those who behind the veil. That is, we're talking of the leadership, the workers, very effective in discharging their duties. So we enjoy their performances very well.
So sorry, my darling. We are good though. I was in night. So about for the preparation. I'm so sorry. I promise to do better. Yes, promise. I tried calling you back, but your line was still showing like busy.
Welcome to Licky Licky.
What's up? Can I pray now? I say amen to all the prayers, and I wish you all the best this month. This is a month of prayers, and I pray that the Lord will be gracious to you. The Lord will supply all your needs. Everything that you need, the Lord will supply. You will lack, you will beg, you will borrow, you will not be frustrated. This is your best month ever. In Jesus' name, amen. I love you.
Welcome back to the Global Business Report here on Arise News. We're going to be looking at the telecommunications sector in Nigeria. Of course, you've seen the news. You just went through MTN's triple-digit earnings in the first quarter at the top of the hour. Airtel also in the news. They're eyeing a mobile money listing in London. I think it's also about $2 billion listing. But then there's also the conversation around the quality of service questions remaining in the telecommunications sector. And we should also mention, even with the 50% increase in the tariff, telcos are still facing high operating costs. We're incredibly happy to have Mr. Benga, the chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators in Nigeria. Sir, it's good to see you. Welcome to the show, and thanks for coming on your holiday. Do have a seat. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. So, yeah, sir, look, we've had you on the show before talking about telecommunications. How would you assess the telco sector right now in Nigeria?
So far, so good. We pride ourselves in the infrastructure that underpins other infrastructures in the economy. We pride ourselves as a driver, the enabler of economies, the enabler of other economies, other society, other services such as power, security, energy, transport, and the rest of it. And so today we are that underlying infrastructure that actually supports everyone. We are like the one that cuts across all sectors of the economy. And so we do say that we are infrastructure that supports all other sectors of the economy. And so there's a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Want to chase me out of
as
my
you mentioned,
country?
telcos are still facing high operating costs. How do you assess these following the 50% tariff increase?
It has restored confidence in the sector. Restored investors' confidence in the sector. Prior to the review that we had in January of last year, we didn't have investment decision for many years. We were basically on the edge. But that increase has enabled us to regain the confidence of investors, and therefore things are looking better. So glad to say that it's an increase that has been overdue for many years. And so the 50% that we have received in terms of is actually a match that government is actually required for us to actually be where we should be.
You know, concern them more. They can't chase me out now from my own country. As how now? Concern their village people. Anybody, they know if it just beats me.
One guy, that guy, they need to arrange that guy.
So in their house they watch the news. We they except they watch too. They don't go try nonsense now. They go collect. They no born them when they come try am for Nigeria. We go born them. Ghana must go now. I know now. Now we dey go Ghana. Ghana people save the coin. Who want chess now? They don't misbehave now. You mean me not having data? I have data, right? Good morning. Glory of the universe. Good morning, ma. I've been calling your line since. It's showing line busy, line busy, line busy. How far now? How your side? I bet. I do. Oh, no verse for me. Oh, thank you. Happy New Month. How your side now? How the preparation they go? Muna give me clothes now. Make I give my tailor on time. Oh. I'll still buy material too. I go buy the clothes. Okay, they never buy our own this thing now. Buy the Ashebi now. I been no be Ashebi. I been a brother. Okay, the people supposed to pay money before they will go and buy. How much is the something? I no see price for the brother Kiniko. Me, I don't already tell sister Ayot say una go buy me my own material. Eh? Okay, no wahala. Oh Lord, you are worthy, and no one can worship you for me. For all the things you've done for me,
Now you dey pay for the food.
and no one can worship you for me. Jesus,
We think that project
you
will
are
take about 2 weeks.
worthy.
And so we thank the Honorable Minister and the team for the work they are doing in that
And
regard.
no
More than that is that we must eliminate the baseline problems, issue of banalization of critical. But if they make this fiber today and become unstable, we'll go round and round again in circles. So we think the time has come where we must criminalize acts that have to do with impact on communication services. There are no consequences for people that don't communicate services. Come that critical from that critical access point. So
yes, sir.
answer to this should be safe.
You don't mean it. They should find husband for me. Beautiful. Sir?
You come and pay this.
I should come and sit there. Hey, being single for a long time isn't good though. Hey, Christopher, that's true. Thank you. I support that. Good one, no. Don't bring anyhow, anyhow. Ibi, don't follow. Good, good one. Yes, yes, yes. Find good one, no. No, can't give me person way no get sense. So someone that have sense and the head is correct. Mm-hmm. I guess you have problem. Yes, now correct Ninja girl. Oh. No play. Oh. How about you? Please do well to subscribe, like, and share. Oh, I see. These guys subscribe. Don't just view and pass. Aww. Yes, so Nigerian girls are beautiful, they are smart, they're intelligent, they're very hardworking. Don't follow, stay one place. Don't stress. No, I have not. But maybe soon. I haven't been there. Oh, I'm trying to just position this phone. I don't know yet. When I have money, I'll come. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, comment, and super chat. Happy new month, guys. Good to have you. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
First things first, we just put have on our skincare product to wake up the actives. Set the right foundation, the foundation is not with you. Then go for the blush with the blush. Be really sensual, marinate the lips, because the veil is talking to the energy, holds everything together. They say to the spirit, here comes your man of God who came from out of town just to supply our need.
Morning with Nigerian girl. A long history.
Like a fake implantation boxes the shoe of the day. Now, this is the final. Now, this is the final look. So gorgeous.
Yes.
Obvious reports. Check. Say hello. Hi. Yanti has a pop-up. We show the best we have pop-up. Now to the reason why we're here at the event. Houston was such an absolute blast. We had the best of the best vendors, from the planners to the venue to the DJ to the host to the drinks and the food. What did I eat anything? No, I was fighting to get 5-star reviews so that my boss could follow me home. So many beautiful people in one place, learning, getting their favorite done products, and having a great time. This was an absolutely amazing skincare hangout. And we're coming to your city. Have you signed up yet? Click the link in the bio right now. Everyone loved it, everyone enjoyed it, and me. Baby, can I get you on tonight? Yeah. First things first, we have to have an skincare product to wake up the actives.
Yes, I am very, very much available on Instagram. Do you need my IG handle? Asake baby 268. Ashake baby. No, blessing baby 268 rather. Sorry. Yeah, check. If it's not my face, it's not me. We'll see you. Uncle, this is structural, abi? I don't press. Have you seen it? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll reply later. Yeah, subscribe or super chat. Share the link. Tell your friend to subscribe. Yeah. Tell your friend to subscribe too. Share the link with them, your neighbors, even your enemies. Eshe, o Shaddai mi o, èmi ò ti pọ̀ tó. Oh, Mima, the one who makes all things beautiful. Ebubele, ikari asili gboro, odokwa kataka. I testify of your good works. Thank you. Carry us in you. Yesterday, today, forever. You never change, unchangeable God. Unchangeable love. Look how you turned my life around and wipe my tears. Unchangeable God. unchangeable sacrifice. Jesus, 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 that man of Galilee. You're always doing good, always doing good. I try you faithful, faithful in all of your ways. Ikemo, Odio Yedikadi. Of course, I believe in Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We are alive today because He showed us mercy. I testify. I am good. Gome. What's up? Good morning. Is my heart not talking to you? Ikemo, Odigo Yedikadi. Odogu, Odogu. Akanemema, the lifter of my head. You have done it all, nothing remaining. Of course, he said that. He said we should love one another. Single gives love, marriage give what? Marriage still give love too. You have done it all. How am I supposed to know? I'm not married, so am I supposed to know what married people give? I think it's still love too, Sha. Is there anything different that they give that I don't know? Can still drop it on the comment section. Let me know. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Ikemo. I was doing something. I'm looking at you guys. Do you have anything to tell me? Uncle Sue. You have done it all, nothing remaining.
And actually heard few weeks he started talking. I had an interview moment and she was the one that hired me. I love that one and
Me?
Mona is surprisingly a good boss.
and she is conservative, and I have a lot of freedom to
Say something.
voice my opinions, have my own things in the name and stuff. And
Isn't that married man the top?
when we compare it to the American passport, that it's just much nicer and it's better.
That's pretty incredible stuff. What will the world look like in 5 to 10 years? By the way, Mona might be AI, but there's another person named Mona who's very special to us on the show. She's arguably the cutest toddler on planet Earth. Just absolutely adorable. So hi Mona, if you're watching. Alright, that's going to do it for the Global Business Report. Do stay tuned to Arise News. From all of us, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rosas Theory. Up next is Newsday, so stay tuned.
You save me. I love you. Which guy is next to me?
It's my pleasure.
She's my friend.
At Fidelity, we believe that empowering women economically within that extends beyond the individual, it strengthens the families, it builds businesses, and completes the community.
So what kind of work you're doing?
That belief is what we are here to do. Formalize partnerships that will expand skills,
What kind of work you're doing?
and opportunity for the young women.
I want to say a very big thank you to Fidelity Bank because this empowerment especially is a very great one for me because it will make my business boost more, to make me to do more in my business, and again it will make me to even spread the good thing that the Fidelity have done for all the women that need support for their businesses.
Don't worry. When I see you, I'll call you.
Esther needs to see this picture. Anything that is not of God in my life. What's that?
This is you, leave Nigeria.
Father, in the name of Jesus,
Feel the pulse of the planet.
leave this girl alone.
From New York to Nairobi, London to Lagos. Our world is connected, our stories intertwined. Join us as we navigate the news that shapes our lives. News through the voices that live it, the experts that make sense of it, and the leaders that shape it. Our network of correspondents around the world ensure that you don't miss a thing. Trust us to bring you unfiltered news, deep dives, and powerful conversations. The world never stops, and neither do we. Every second counts, and every story matters. Give us 60 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
Why am I saying questions? Why do you like this story?
We go to the lens of the universe to bring you the top stories of the day. From the breaking news to the big stories from Nigeria, across Africa,
Why is this
the
still have
world
the same
bring
hair like
a
my
unique
grandma?
perspective, a Nigerian
Absolutely.
perspective, an African understanding of global events as they unfold, politics and policy, people and events, thought leaders and newsmakers, innovation, technology,
Why you
culture,
having his
and the
grandma?
arts, as well as everything else in between. Every night on Africa's premier news broadcaster, we ask the hard questions and get the answers. Speak to the experts that give the deep insights on issues that shape our world. Every news night on Arise, the world's standout news channel.
Hey, God, I beg you.
China again. Interest rates. Commodities. Bonds and shares.
They are engineers, architects. So they design beautiful houses, hotel, warehouse, I'm advertising for the right. I'm not an engineer. Okay. So I came here to supply my snacks and to sell also guys and work.
Stay up to date with business and markets every weekday on the Rice Exchange.
Let me use here posts.
Center.
You're watching Arise, the world's standout news channel. Arise News, award and beyond.
Yes. Architecture, yes. Architecture, yeah.
This is Arise, the world standout news channel. I'm Cynthia.
And I'm Asake. Welcome to Newsday. For the next 4 hours, we'll bring you all of the day's stories live from Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, including Iran activates its air defenses to counter small aircraft and drones, as the White House signals that it will not be reined in.
That's true.
Deadline on the Iran
Congrats on that.
Turkish police fired tear gas and arrest dozens of people holding May Day demonstrations in the capital as they prepare to march to Taksim Square, the scene of several anti-government protests in the past.
And the UN Security Council votes to reduce the ceiling for the peacekeeping force in conflict-torn South Sudan from 17,000 to 12,000 troops, with a mandate to prevent a return to civil war in the world's newest nation. Details in just a moment.
The governor of Nigeria
Oh, you like his work? That's good.
Continues saying Iran has activated air defense systems around Tehran after reports of drones and small aircraft in its airspace. Now, state media says that the systems were switched on for about 20 minutes late Thursday before calm down. The development comes as Washington faces a deadline linked to congressional approval for its military action against Iran. Now, in Tehran, Iran's leadership has stepped up its rhetoric, saying it now controls key shipping routes in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S., meanwhile, is pushing ahead with plans to maintain friendly naval operations and a blockade, even as global oil prices climb sharply.
Now, US President Donald Trump says Iran is keen to strike a deal to end tensions, but insists there is confusion over who's leading the country. He says Iran's military and the economy have been badly weakened, and repeats that Tehran must not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons. He also says sanctions have cut off key oil revenue. Now, when it comes to stalled negotiations, Trump also confirmed that only a few people know what is happening in the talks. He says Iran wants an agreement, but argues uncertainty over its leadership is slowing progress.
When you fly on top warehouse, no even there.
Despite a military operation, I don't call it. It's rather military operation. I mean, Iran is dying to make a deal. I can only tell you that. I don't want to get into the but they cannot be nuclear. Other than that, but they are. The Navy's gone. The Air Force is gone. Every ounce of any form of equipment practically is gone. You know, their drone factories are about 82% down.
and their missile factories are almost 90% down. And many of the missiles have been knocked out. They use some, but we knocked out more than they used. And it's pretty amazing what's happening. They want to make a deal, but despite the fact that we are in what some people would call a war, we just hit a new high today on the stock market. We have S&P that's through the roof. They're all, that's through the roof. And, when we hit 50,000 on the Dow and 7,000 on the S&P, I said to myself, we got to do something about Iran. They want to have a nuclear weapon. You can't let them have a nuclear weapon. And I hated to do it to my people because they said 50,000. Peter, you know
Name of
this.
the music is
50,000 wouldn't be
by Prince Emmanuel and Pastor Peter.
And we hit 50,000 on my first year. The end of my first year, we hit 7,000 on the S&P. They said that would be even less attainable, and we hit that at the end of the first year, before the year was up. And then I said to Kevin, sorry about this, Kevin, but we have to put out a fire, and the fire is taking place in the lovely country of Iran, and they want to have a nuclear weapon. And if we didn't use this beautiful, see that plane right there, a beautiful B-2 bomber? It looks small there, but it's actually it doesn't look very powerful there, but it's quite large, actually. We ordered 25 more of them, the updated version, all built in America, which is very nice, right? But if we didn't have that B-2 bomber, if we didn't go and do what we did, we obliterated that nuclear capacity of theirs, and so they didn't get the nuclear bomb. If we didn't do that attack, should have been done long before I came along by other presidents or by another country or something. But it should have been done long before I came along. But they are in very bad shape. They've got nothing, including leadership. I mean, the leaders are gone. Their first string leaders are gone. Their second string leaders are gone. Now we have third string. But we'll see what happens. So, and now, Venezuela is amazing, but now we're doing essentially, it's larger, we're doing essentially the same thing in Iran. Can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and their economy is crashing. The blockade is incredible. The power of the blockade is incredible. They're not getting any money from oil. And
I am on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Blessing Effiong. Blessing Effiong as on my name on Facebook.
Well, I mean, I don't know what some of this, because really nobody knows what the talks are except myself and a couple of other people. They want to make a deal badly. And we have a problem because nobody knows for sure who the leaders are. It's a little bit of a problem. The leaders have been wiped out along with their military, almost all of their military. I mean, think of it. 159 ships was their total Navy. 159 ships are gone. They're underwater. They're way below sea level. Sea level is big. It's pretty deep waters over there too. So, I don't know that we need it. We might need it.
Now, police in Turkey have fired tear gas and arrested dozens of people during May Day protests in Istanbul. Now, demonstrators tried to march towards Taksim Square, a key protest site in the city, but police had sealed off the area and blocked access with barricades and heavy security. Now, clashes broke out in several districts as some groups attempted to push through lines. Officers moved in to disperse the crowds, but local media say that more than 50 people were detained. Trade unions and civil groups had called for the rallies in red, peace, freedom. And authorities earlier issued arrest warrants for dozens of people, including activists, journalists, over these fears of arrest during the demonstrations.
Workers in Argentina have marched through Buenos Aires as tensions rise over President Javier Milei's changes to labor laws. The protests came ahead of May Day, with unions accusing the government of weakening long-standing protections for workers. Argentina's biggest union group led the march to the government headquarters, and leaders said the changes threaten jobs, pay, and working conditions. Milei pushed through the reforms earlier this year despite strikes and demonstrations. The new rules allow longer working hours and make it easier for firms to dismiss staff. The government says the changes are needed to attract investment and revive the economy.
Speaking of President Javier Milei's proposed labor reform, a model that seeks to push through labor reforms aimed at stripping away rights and making jobs more precarious. Decent work is non-negotiable, and we are not willing to back down even an inch. We will not give up a single
What's happening is that we're living through a very difficult time, and for everyone, teachers, retirees, educators, universities, healthcare, people with disabilities. It's a tragedy.
On the proposed labor reform, pathetic. I think it's something like a push toward insecure, occasional work, as opposed to secure contracts, which is part of what the reform entails. It is deeply exploitative of all Argentinians, and it also serves to cover up a gap that the national and popular movement hasn't figured out how to address, how to understand the new forms of work that are emerging, the importance of virtual spaces, and how to engage and compete in that arena.
Now, Venezuela has signed new oil and gas agreements with a bunch of U.S. companies in a move to increase production and rebuild ties with Washington. Now, the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, oversaw the signing in Caracas alongside U.S. envoy Jared Aiken. Both sides say the deals are aimed at boosting output, bringing investment back into the country's energy sector. Now, the agreements come after the U.S. eased restrictions on Venezuela's oil industry, allowing American firms to return and operate again.
Se cruzan los intereses. This is where the